Yeah, if they made a lot of money, that's great for them. Um, that's there's no judgment against them for it. Um, would their art be different if it didn't have to be sold to them, as a product? Maybe, probably. Um, Bob Marley was a good example of he seemed pretty like, and John Lennon too. They both seemed pretty like open about what they wanted to say and feel, but they already were popular when they started doing that. Both were, and earlier bands that sang what people wanted to hear, and then eventually when they got the popularity and the fan base, and then they were able to explore what they really wanted to say out there. But whatever. I mean, and it is what it is. But the thing of it is, you say, so if you want to practice your art and be creative and do something that you really love to do in this lifetime, in this civilization, but the civilization that you've created, right? And you've created it. Each and every one of you agree to it. Agree to do what has to be done. Because you can easily just turn and say no, walk away, and just wait for that garbage to crumble, and then that's what I'm waiting for. And, whether it happens in the next few years or not, it's all up to you. It has to. If it doesn't happen in the next few years, then it's going to be trouble for you guys. So, an artist has to accept that doing something creative in his artwork. I've always felt in my life, I've been split between music and art and things that I love to do, and then the banking jobs and the programming jobs, and then I found some creativity in the programming jobs at first, but afterwards it all became the same product that I had to sell, and it's the same thing. But I was always split between the two, always going back between one or the other, and then trying to do both. Never really worked on the creative side, because there's no money on the creative side. You end up just doing it, and you're using your spare time to do it. And if you have a girlfriend, and then you get a girlfriend and she wants to do things, and you're busy doing it, and then all of a sudden that ends up becoming second. If not, your girlfriend's not gonna accept she being second to your music, and then she'll leave you. Or you just you end up not finding anybody comparable, and if you do, it's another musician or artist, and she's got her own ego going. So then you're battling artistic egos, I guess. I don't know, which that's never happened to me yet, but the other ones have. So I mean, of course, if you're a starving artist, you don't have money for food. You don't have money to take anybody out. You don't have money to date anybody. You probably, unless it's another musician, struggling with you, you end up being alone. It's like if you choose that road. They make an artist choose. That's the thing. And then if they choose the art, well, then there has to be, you have to go to school for it, and you got to go to the art school, and then when you graduate, and you learn exactly how you're supposed to be doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and then afterwards you get a job in like a multimedia company or a graphics company, and you can do what they want you to do, exactly the way they want you to do it, and you're still expressing your artwork in what they want you to do it. I work for a graphics and multimedia company in Miami, and the graphic artists there, they had their own stuff on the side they were doing, but the graphic artists, there's nothing rewarding about this shit. It's the same thing. They just tell you what to do, and you got to do it exactly the way, and then somebody specs it out. If you want to add a little bit of something that you want to add to it, no, I said you have to do it this way. And so I said, okay. So all that is thrown out as an artist, man. You don't really you don't really get to do your artwork. And I've only experienced that a few times in my life. When I lost my job in Florida, and I got divorced, and I would say I had a house for on foreclosure, and I lived in that house fucking with no job, with all my savings, just like that I'm doing right now, for about a year and a half, until they threw me out of the house in Fort Lauderdale, and then I ended up coming back here and going back to the workforce and working again. And I did that all the way up until Occupy Wall Street, and then I got sick with Guillain-Barré syndrome, and I haven't gone back since. That period after I spent, in Fort Lauderdale, the year before I was thrown out of my house and I had to come back to New Jersey for work. That was one of the most creative periods of my life. And then came the second one, was Occupy Wall Street. For 2 months, I was nothing. No job. My job was to get up and march people around, man, with my drum. That's not talking about a job. And I'm lucky. I was getting I laid off from a company, and I was getting unemployment for those 2 months. Lucky I had that. If not, I had no other income. But Occupy Wall Street, they provided you with food. Eventually, we were able to build a tent, and now at first we were just sleeping in sleeping bags or in tarps on the floor, After about a month, they finally let us put tents up, and that's because they wanted to bring the medical tent down, and they wanted to bring it down, and Jesse Jackson happened to be walking around that day, and he came and he locked arms with a whole bunch of us around the medical tent, and there was a whole bunch of cops that wanted to come in and storm the medical tent and just get rid of the tent was there, and because Jesse Jackson was there, they all turned around and walked away. What are we gonna do? We're gonna put Jesse in jail because he wants to save a medical tent. He helped us that day, and because after that day they allowed us to put tents, and then we had tents, and then they always provided us food, clothing. We'd always go like the whole clothing donation place. You go in through and you look at a pair of jeans. My size, boom, boom, boom. And then the old clothes you have, you just throw away because the washing is not really worth it. I mean, we'd throw it into a wash thing, but then it's almost like we shared all the clothes, and it was all based on donations and the food, And you say, how can you live? I did this for 2 months in Occupy Wall Street, man. It was great. They provided us food, donations for food, everything, and then we had a bucket out, and that was donations for the drum circle, that we had, and I had 5, 6, 7 drummers that came every day, and we all hung out together. We all had a tent. We were doing it, and then we led marches around Wall Street, around, over the Brooklyn Bridge, through Times Square, all over Manhattan. We led marches, wherever they needed a protest, we'd be there, man. It's great, very creative. It was like the '60s, especially the first month. It was like the '60s I've never experienced because I was only 5 years old. I was a year. I was 65, so it was only by 70 I was 5 years old. 69, 68. Woodstock and all that shit. So I never experienced that, and that was the first time I really experienced that first part. It was that communal feeling, that feeling that they're taking care of us, and we're doing what we need to do. I was working actually 10 hours a day. I was running a drum school, but I loved it. Please, man. They got on me a lot because I was too loud sometimes, and they told us to shut down, and we didn't. But that's the whole thing about drums and protesting. That is just right. That's the thing, man. When you take your artwork and you do it, it's great. But then when you add an activism into it, it just makes it so much better. I mean, that the drumming was just so much more powerful and important to me. Even though the beats were easy and whatever they needed me to drum for them to chant, I do. But it was so powerful because of the activism involved. And we were fighting money. We were fighting, I was there for exactly what I'm talking about now. We're abolishing money, abolishing, the monetary system, and then just sharing everything equally. That's what I was there for, and that's what I was arrested for at the end, and I was thrown out of, and that's where I got the flu shot, and that's where I got the Guillain-Barré syndrome, almost killed me. And honestly, I believe that flu shot was given because the Guillain-Barré syndrome flu shot it came out in large doses in 1978. Now, the medical tent there got the flu, got the actual flu shot from a company that gave it to them. How they got the 1978 version of that flu shot to give to me, to give me Guillain-Barré syndrome, is maybe the government said, okay, put the ones in there because anybody that has the gene that can kick off Guillain-Barré syndrome, it's gonna kill them, and it almost killed me. So do I blame the government for almost trying to kill me? Yeah. Using that flu shot, yeah. That's why I'm not anti-vax. Please, I'm not talking about the other COVID thing. I'm just talking about vaccine in general. YouTube, please don't shut me down. Please, don't shut me down, YouTube. And then I got that. And then they almost killed me. And that's how far I went for my art. And then that was the second time in my life, really, that I felt this freedom to be able to be creative like I never had before. Even when I was, maybe when I was young, 15, 16, but once I started working, once you have to balance work and playing music and doing anything artistic work, when you come home from work, it's tiring. I looked at the guitar and and then it's the third time that's ever happened, which is right now. Right now. 2 years ago, it's going to be June. It's the anniversary of my ex-girlfriend throwing me out of the house that we bought together. Me not having any say in actually living there still, and actually selling the house. She's throwing me out, right? But that turned into one of the most creative periods of my life, and that's where I'm feeling now. We had some support. I had some support. Here I feel I have none. I have a few people that donate, and it's still nice to me. And actually, some of them save me when nobody else wants to donate anything. But the majority of people out there that I once considered friends, that I once considered clients, that I did a lot of sound healing work, and I healed them. Again, I didn't make no money. That sound healing studio, especially when I owned it with my ex-partner Maura, it was basically giving me I was making $200 a month, $300 a month for all the healings I was doing. And all that's after paying half the rent and half the expenses and half of this, and then getting, so my ball broke, I got to buy a new ball and this and that. I was basically making, the most I made maybe like $300, $500 a month in the business that I had for 6 years that I love to do. And if it wasn't for my disability, me having disability because of the Guillain-Barré syndrome, which I still feel, I still have body symptoms, I cannot work a normal job. I guarantee you, I cannot work a normal job. Even though all that, I did it for 7, 8 years. I did sound healing work for people. And actually, towards the end, when Maura ended up leaving and I was doing it on my own, and I had the whole space to myself, I was actually getting more money. I was making decent money. I was making maybe like $1,000 a month. But that's nothing to live on. Artists can't live because of the situation, and then everything gets more expensive, and the artist still doesn't make no money. It's like, because now it's like even more expensive. I'm not making any money, so I'm paying even more for stuff that I can't afford. So the artist is one of the most abused when it comes to money. Abused human beings because of money. I mean, everybody. I mean, honestly, everybody's in jail right now is because of money. So everybody's in the cage right now is because of money. So you shouldn't throw money in jail. Because you didn't throw money in jail, you throw them in jail. That's fine. That's what you want. That's what you decide to do for your civilization. Your brother. That's, go ahead, man. Go ahead, do it. But the artist, again, unless it's the artist that happens to be that lucky one out of a million, won the lottery, that his artwork is sellable enough, and he got somebody to promote him enough, or her enough, to be able to make a shitload of money on it, and then you go shitload of money on it, and they keep on making the same stuff over and over to give to their fan base. So it's shitload of money on it. Other than that, artists are starving. Artists, if you decide to be an artist, if you write back, what are you gonna do in your life? I'm gonna be an artist. I'm gonna practice my art until the day I die. I don't give a shit about anything else. Okay, you'll end up probably dying poor, alone, broke. Probably addicted to something, probably just to deal with it all, and probably probably with not as much accomplished as you could have accomplished if we had a society where it was we shared everything equally and everything was for free. Because I guarantee you, those beautiful works of art in the Mayan culture and the Incan culture, and the Maori culture and the Aboriginal culture, all that beautiful artwork is because they didn't fucking have to charge. They weren't charging each other for a living. So if you were an artist and you painted all that really cool stuff on the didgeridoos or on the original work, the original like artwork, when you did that, it's like that was appreciated as being part of what you did, right? And all art at that point, all artwork is appreciated, not just a specific one type of artwork that we're promoting this month, and we're gonna make a whole shitload of money if we promote it well enough, and then people go, oh wow, that's really good art. You see that guy's art? It's great. I'll pay him more money, 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 money. You know, it's not that. It's what you do, and it's appreciated. You know, look at those Mayan temples, man. My God, man. You know, you think somebody got paid a whole shitload of money to make those temples? And the you know the artwork and the you know the serpent. He's outside. The serpent. You know, the feathered serpent. Gone. Kukulkan gone. So the artist is one very much, you know, because the builder and the plumber and the construction guy and the banker and the, you know, all those other forms of you know, things that you know like jobs or whatever you want to call them, careers. Those things get paid. They get paid no matter. And if you happen to be good, you open up a company, you get paid. But in the art world, you know, if you happen to be really into the stuff and you open up an art gallery, but you're making money on it. You open a record company, you're making money on it. Yeah, all these things are making money on it. I'm talking about the artist itself. The artist, you know, except for if you're one of the few that they're promoting, and how you got to be able to one of the ones that you're promoting, I don't know. It's me making those sounds that goes, hey, I think this is really sellable. Hey, let's get this voice in here. Give him a contract. Give him a record deal. We'll point. If it doesn't work in America, we'll push it out to Europe, and we'll sell that to the Europeans. No problem. So the artist suffers in this world that you created, as you see, right? Because you don't see many artists anymore. You see performers and you see entertainers, but actual artists, you don't really see a lot of them, man, because nobody goes into the field of art to be creative and said fuck everything else. Because if you do that, you end up homeless like me. Luckily I have a voice, and I'm able to do these YouTube videos, and I got a phone that I can do it with. But the ones that don't, they're out here just doing the artwork and saying, well, I don't know, I don't give a shit, I'm just gonna do this till I die. It's like, I know what you mean, bro. I know what you mean. That you'd rather do that until you die than stick an art costume on and go work at KFC for $15 an hour just so you can pay the rent and then pay the other bills, and you have 10 cents left over. And then you have no time to do your artwork, and you no reason or no desire to do it. I'd come home from work after programming, and I'd look at that guitar and go like, oh man, I can't. I want to pick it up and play with it. I just can't. Until I got a divorce, and then lost the job, and then I had nothing but okay, I can go try to find another job, or I can take my the savings that I have, live in this house fucking rent free as it goes into foreclosure, and do this for a year, and be as creative as possible, and say fuck everything else. And I did it. Oh, but what did it get you? It didn't get you anything. Yeah, it got me a year of my life that I really enjoyed as opposed to now going back and forth, going back to work and going, fuck, I hate this shit. But I gotta do it, I gotta make money. And let me tell you, I'll repeat it again this year. When you're facing your grave at the end of your life, you're not gonna look back in your life and say, shit, I didn't work enough. You know what you're gonna say? You're gonna say, shit, I didn't do the things I wanted to do. Because I didn't have a time. You know why? Because I worked too much for them. I gave them a third of my life. 8 hours. Third of my life. And then I slept a third of my life because I needed to get up to go to work for the third of my life. And the other third of my life, I ran around chasing money until the grave. Money was right next to me. Next to me. When I jumped in the grave, I said, money, come down. And money said, no, I ain't coming down, asshole. I'm not coming down with you. I'm immortal. You're the one that's mortal. I'm immortal. I don't die. Take care. I'm going to wait for the next one to be born, to lead to the grave. That's what you're going to say to yourself. You're not going to say that, damn, I'm so happy about this life that I did so much creative stuff that fulfilled everything that I wanted to fulfill. So now I could ascend to a higher dimension, knowing that my soul experienced what it needed to experience and release the karma. You're not going to say any of that. You know why? Because they don't teach you to say that. They teach you to say what? Oh, God's going to wait for me. Oh, my family's going to wait for me. When I'm dead, they're going to be all in heaven waiting for me. And Jesus is going to be there, and he's going to bring me to heaven, and going to say, oh, thank you, God, for bringing all my family, dead family here with me, and now we're going to be here in heaven together forever. We're going to be here in heaven forever with your dead family. Is that what you really wanted? Is that what you think is going to happen? Good luck with that. Good luck. Namaste. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Hari Om. Hari Hari Om. Hari Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Kali Yuga will not end. It wasn't 260,000 years. It was 26,000 years. They added a zero, you see. It will end in 2025. Om Namah Shivaya. You have 2 years. Om Namah Shivaya.